Good morning. It is January 1st, 2021. Happy New Year, everybody. So I'm having some morning tea, some burdock root, and I get to thinking, right? I have some inner child issues, right? I'm healing through them, so that's not an issue. So last night was New Year's Eve. I brought the new year in with my babies and my boyfriend. And before the new year, a little backdrop on me, right? So I grew up in foster care from the ages of 13 to 21. During those ages, I did go back and forth a little bit between some of my family members. Ultimately, I ended up with Marcia at 20. I believe I was 20, yes, or 19, one of the two. I think it was just like 20, but whoever. I had already had one child, and I was pregnant with my second. I got there. I had learned long before this, right, that foster homes are not to get close with people. I had learned in my personal experience that it was a job for these people. Well, not necessarily the foster homes, but I first started in a group home, and I learned there that this was a job. These people don't actually care for you, you know. So I kind of carried that mentality throughout the rest of the years of my childhood years in foster care. So when I did get with a family, I didn't get too close. I didn't get my hopes up that they would love me or really, really genuinely care for me. I always kept it in the back of my mind, even if it was, things were going good. I always kept it in the back of my mind that they'll get tired of you. They'll put you out. So do not do not make roots. Anywho, I moved in with Marcia. I had my fair share of homes, but inevitably she was my last home. And like I said, I was pregnant with my daughter, Harmony. And she was amazing. She was very nice, very loving, very caring. She immediately took to my children. My baby girl loved her, and the baby in my stomach, she got very close. So when it was time for me to have my daughter, I asked her if she would like to be in the delivery room along with my daughter's father, and she was taken away, which I didn't really think too much of. I just know that I didn't want to be alone, and whatnot. She treated me with respect. Absolutely, always had respect for me. She asked me about my feelings, and all of that. I had never had that, honestly, in a foster home. And so her heart really was into my children, And so I aged out of that home and everything. But we had never lost contact. She had always been a part of my life. But for a very long time, I just thought, it's because she loved my children. And I would never take away that relationship she had with my children, because why not? Love is important. And my children loved her so much. And, I would never want to take that away from either one of them. But honestly, in the back of my mind, I didn't think that I know she cared about me, but I didn't think too much of it. I knew that she loved the dirty drawers off my kids, but, I didn't think too much about myself in the situation. So I kept my distance, made sure if she ever wanted to get them, she had that option. And as I grew and everything, I had more children. So inevitably, I have 6 children. And every one of my children took to her immediately, called her Nana. They love her. And I was like, that's just so crazy. But again, I would never take away that relationship. And she accepted each one of my children. And mind you, after the second one, I didn't even live with her any longer. Fast forward to this year, 2020. It has taken a while to get to this point for me. I know there have been moments that she voiced that she felt unloved by me, and I really couldn't understand that, because I'm like, well, I never keep my kids from you. Whenever you want to see my children, you can. I didn't put too much into the relationship on an aspect of me and her, because I didn't think that was for one, I have all these weird like trust issues. And then, you know, I have been abandoned, neglected, rejected over and over during my childhood. You know, my mother, my father, people, you know, no, I didn't seem to be able to stay with people for that long. So, you know, I even tried to always make good grades. You know, I was damn near straight A student. You know, I tried not to talk back, and it just was never enough. Like, I really legit thought something was wrong with me, that I was just unlovable, that, you know, it was just not meant for people to love me, you know. And so I decided to have children at a young age because I wanted someone to love me. FYI, don't do that. Children are not commodities. Children are not there to just give you love, okay? I was a very young, hurt, traumatized person, okay? And if I knew now what I knew then, I would have never did that. I love my children. Absolutely. I do the best I can taking care of them. And, you know, but I just would not recommend anyone having children out of needing to feel loved. Okay, good. Let's go back. Anywho. So this year, 2020, I said, you know what? I gotta heal. I have to heal. I've been trying for years to heal, and for some odd reason, I couldn't, you know, and I guess it just happens when it happens, right? And it hit me like, Marcia has been there since I was 19, 20 years old. I'm 31. She's not going anywhere, and she doesn't just love your kids. And that happened because I have a lot of anxiety. So I'm the type of person, I don't call people. I don't reach out to people, and people will be like, oh, you acting funny. Or it's honestly not that. I would have picked up the phone 5 to 10 times and said, I wonder how they're doing. But then it's like, they don't want to talk to you. Don't bother them. They're probably doing something. And with Marcia, she was a very busy woman, you know, like she was very busy. And so I never wanted to bother her or any of that. And I never wanted to impose my life on her. You know, I didn't want to be that person. After things happened as a teenager, and I was like, you know, I'm not seeking love from anyone. No one's going to love me anyway, you know. So I was not going to do that to myself. I was not going to set myself up to get hurt again in that manner. And so I came to the conclusion that a mother relationship for me is just not in the cards. I'll never know what that love felt like, you know, that a genuine mother-daughter relationship would feel like. And I had come to a point where, you know, it hurt sometimes, but I was okay with that. You know, I was okay with that. And so this year I said, you know, I want to heal. And a little bit earlier than this year, me and Marcia had a conversation, and we were just on the phone talking about the kids, and she said, you know, I love you too. And I was like, okay, it's not really that serious. I wasn't gonna say it back because I'm like, all right. Or maybe I did, I don't know. I might have said, yeah, I love you too. But in my head, I was like, yeah, sure you do. And again, that's that trauma. That's that rejection, that abandonment issues. And so this year I said, I just want to take my health back. I want to take everything back. So the only doctors I had been going to were gynecologists and OBs since I was 20, you know, because of course I had multiple children, and just to get my yearly checkups for down there. You know, I didn't have physicals because I didn't care about my physical health. I suffered with depression, a very deep depression. And this year I said, you know what? My kids need me. Like, you're just sitting around waiting to die, because if you don't kill yourself, then it's not suicide, and at least it's not your fault. But it's still your fault because you're not taking care of yourself. So I said, you know what? I want to live. Yes. I want to live for my children. I want them to have great experience. I want to see them grow up, because who's going to raise them anyway if I'm not here? You know, yeah, things are hard. Things are really hard sometimes. And yeah, sometimes I don't want to be here, but all that pain could not have been for nothing, right? So I said, no, I want to live. I got a doctor, a physical, you know, family doctor. I had been having this thing grow in my neck for years, but it really didn't cause any issues. So I was like, you know, it's not anything serious. So I was like, you know, I'm going to get that checked. I'm gonna get me a physical. I'm gonna get my blood. Everything is gonna get checked. I found out I have thyroid cancer. I was definitely upset at first, but you know, it also brought me a sense of clarity. Like, this is why I've been feeling down for all these years. This is why I can't do but so many things before my body just stops. You know, it gave me a reason to the problem instead of me thinking, oh, because I'm just fat. Oh, because I'm depressed. Oh, because of that. Because, you know, your thyroid controls all those hormones as well. So that could maybe, even though my circumstances, sure, environmental, contributed to my depression. Other than, this could probably be contributing too, because my anxiety had went through the roof lately, the last few years. I couldn't even get in a car at one point to even drive in a passenger side. So, yeah, anywho, let's not get back. So, in the midst of reclaiming my life, right, I said, she's been here since I was 20. She really loves me. I don't know when that clicked, but I said, I really love her. I'm not going to keep doing this. I'm not going to keep not creating connections with people because I'm afraid. Because that's what it boiled down to. I'm afraid that I'll get attached. I'm afraid that I'll love them. I'm afraid that I'll believe that they'll be a normal part of my daily life. And then they'll do or say something that they don't want to be a part of my life anymore. And all these years I've been protecting myself from these relationships, you know, because I would, even with men, I would get into them, but I would never get into them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm there physically, but mentally it's always like, oh, these niggas want to leave anyway. I ain't want to do too much. You feel me? Because, and what? Nah, because if they leave, all right, peace. I'm going to be good with or without you. And I had got that mentality for years now. And I'm like, but I'm not living. I'm not experiencing anything. So I said, you know what? This relationship is important to me. And through our conversations, it seems important to Marcia. And I said, I'm not going to sit here and hide myself anymore. I'm not going to be who I am. I'm not going to love because I'm afraid to get hurt. We get hurt. That is a normal part of life. Normal part of life. And who am I to deny myself these beautiful experiences, these beautiful relationships, this beautiful love? And even if today she loves me and then down the line she can't do it anymore, at least I got to experience that relationship through a mother-daughter dynamic that I never got to experience. And wouldn't that be more important than holding yourself hostage? Holding yourself hostage. Because that's what I've been doing, holding myself hostage, not allowing myself to enjoy life, not allowing myself to enjoy love, not allowing myself to enjoy relationships with other human beings. Cutting myself off from the world to protect myself. But inevitably, I'm not protecting anything. I'm hurting myself. I'm hindering my growth. And I say, you know what, Virginia, we're not doing that anymore. We're not hindering that growth. She wants to love me right now. I'm going to take that love right now. And I'm going to give the love that I have, that I've been so desperately desiring to give to a mom. My mom has passed. And before so, our relationship was not the best. She had her own things that I know now that she had to, couldn't heal from. And I still love my mom, but I never got to have a mom. And even though I'm 31, I still want that. And life itself is presenting that to me. It has been presenting that to me since I was 20 years old. But I can open my eyes to see that. I can open my mind to understand that. And because of that, I probably done missed out on over 11 years of love. You know? But I'm not going to miss out on anymore. I'm not going to set myself up to not experience genuine love because I'm afraid. I'm not going to allow fear to continue to ruin and run my life. I'm not, because I know that whatever happens, one thing I am is resilient. Okay? So I'm going to bounce back from anything. And yeah, I just wanted to come on here and express that. And last night she came to me and she said, I really love you. And I want to make it even more official. Even though you're grown, we can still make this official, illegal. Because I love being your mom. And and it even makes it better because you're not born to me. We got to choose each other. I was speechless. Sorry, but something I had wanted my entire life, that had been there for 11 years, that I couldn't open my mind to see it. Yes, I want that. Of course, I want that. I love you so much. I'm not going to allow this fear to continue to ruin and run my life. It's not going to happen. Excuse me. That is the best gift I have ever been given. You know, aside from my children. Excuse me. Well, tearing up. But I just say that to say, we cannot allow fear to crush us. We cannot allow fear to prohibit us from loving and learning and living. I've allowed fear to run my life for 30 years. And I say 30 years because it's not doing it anymore. I'm done living in that space. When I love people, I'm going to love them. I'm going to be open to loving them. And if they stay, okay. And if not, that is it. At least that is something I got to experience for even a short amount of time. You know? I want to heal my relationships within my actual family, my brother, my sisters. I love them. And now, yes, I'm all for healing and loving each other. But I will no longer do it at the expense of my own mental health. That won't happen. We will definitely have boundaries, but to just be in each other's lives. Life is too fucking short to not love each other. It just is. You see, this world is so much hatred going on. You know, so many things are happening. But then there's also this other aspect of healing that is happening on cellular levels. Like, there is a healing happening to a lot of people, not just myself. I see it in others. I feel it. Like, I'm so excited for that. I have been asking for years to just not feel that pain. And this year, well, 2020 and into 2020 into now, it has started lifting. That cloak of darkness that had been shrouding me my entire life, had lifted. And I didn't know how or why or when, but I was so thankful that, oh my gosh, I can see clearly. I can feel things that I had never felt. It no longer felt like something was sucking my energy away. Albeit it took a little bit of work, meditation, being real with myself, you know, not making excuses, that's it, not making excuses for it. Not always blaming the depression and just saying, well, oh, I have depression, that just is what it is. No, it's not what it is. No, we're not going to do that. But I just wanted to say to you guys, you know, life can change in a blink of an eye. Don't deny ourselves love and the things that we desire because we don't feel deserving or we believe it wasn't meant for us. We don't know what was meant for us. We're not God. But yeah. Thank you for listening to my little morning talk. My morning tea talk. Anyway, it's Regina here, free from fear. I love y'all. You're not alone.